Steve.
Hi Chris, good to see you again.
Good to see you too, man.
Yes,
so
yes.
Arsenal beating Blackpool 3-0 in the FA Cup. How would you describe the match?
Well, you know, it's a good game. Let's start. I think we start off by giving Blackpool praise. I think they came out to play and they played. I think there were opportunities for Blackpool, but what I have to say about Arsenal is it's a new dawn. I know the last time you and I spoke, I talked about an emerging scene. And I think we saw it today with the youngsters. Wilcox, beg my pardon, should have had a hat-trick.
Okay.
Nkita should have had at least 2. But again, I say it's civil, like it's youth. And I think give them another 2-3 months settling within the team. What we're seeing from the academy is the burgeoning of youngsters, as opposed to teams like Man City, Chelsea that have all these players on loan out. We keep them at home. And what we see is a growing development of those young people. We had a good game. I can't argue. We've seen a new Iwobi. I mentioned it the last time I think we spoke. And Iwobi once again has demonstrated that his attitude, his mindset, his concentration, all credit has to go, no doubt, to whoever the strikers coach is. So I would say it was a very pleasing experience. No pressure. A pressure check again, once again. It is usual, you know, kind of errors making, but did well. I would say we did very well in this game.
Okay.
And I think it sets us up now for the next game, which is West Ham.
Okay. So who would you say was your man of the match for Arsenal?
I will give it to Wilcox. I'll give it to him. With 2 goals in the bag, the possibility of having a hat-trick, I think I would give it to him.
He was quite the poacher, wasn't he?
He's a poacher.
He reminded me of a little bit of Lundberg.
Yes, he's a poacher, which is something we have not had for a while. A young, player who knows where the goal is, in front of there. I mean, even before that, I would go back. I mean, unfortunately, I know it goes back to an old Tottenham player or even old Newcastle. But I would go back to Lineker. You remind me, Lineker, Keegan.
Okay.
That kind of attitude in front of the goal.
Yeah.
Always willing, ready, be there. And I would say, yes, I agree with you.
His overall play was very good.
His overall play was impressive. You know, the young man I would like to see do well that came on late is Saka. And I think he also has a lot of potential.
Was you surprised that already Arsenal had a comfortable lead? Was you surprised that the manager only put him on for the last 10 minutes? Well,
yes, for the last 10 minutes, but you know, I wasn't surprised because if you look at our play in the first 10 minutes, we should have had 2 goals, right? And at that, you know, that's Nkita because he had not settled. He needs to take his chances. He's 19 years old. So, I mean, I'm not going to hold that against him. And I think all I can see is improvement taking place as we progress. Yes, bringing on Saka, which was again in a more defensive mode. And I think that was fine. Lacazette, yes, bring on the wrong out. I know there are the problems with, you know, fans not feeling happy about what's happened with Lacazette. I myself am not too happy because I think that he needs a full game to maintain that level of confidence. And in a sense, whilst I don't agree with fans worrying, I think the manager need to understand there needs to be that consistency where Lacazette is concerned. Otherwise, we have a player that's going to lose confidence.
You can even see when he came on the pitch, even though he didn't do a lot with the ball, but the way he was chasing the Blackpool defenders and putting them under pressure. At one point, I saw him chasing the defenders and then throw up his arms because no one else was doing that.
Well, that's what I love about Lacazette is the commitment. And this is why I am never angry when he's angry for being taken off, because it shows a player who's committed, wants to be there, wants the team to win. And to me, that is what is positive about the whole experience of Lacazette at the moment. So for me, I don't have an issue. And I think what we have to see, okay, to be able to say, all right, Ozil on the bench, Aubameyang still didn't play today for whatever reasons. Give him a rest. I think what we see is a second team that guaranteed come next season or the season thereafter, we will see great things coming from them. So yes, I believe so.
Can you imagine? Can you see any one of them breaking through to the first team this season?
No, not. I would see them being on the as a sub, but not from a starting position. I think with Iwobi, with the position Iwobi has at the moment, and I know that people have a difficulty in understanding why Iwobi started before Lacazette.
Yeah.
I can understand that. Because it is about work rate, it's about the chasing, it's about what he brings to that game.
Yeah.
It's not taken away from Lacazette's ability, his skills in front of goal. But in Keita, I think what we'd see those youngsters carrying on as long as we remain within the FA Cup.
Yeah.
They're likely to be starting.
Yeah.
So you know, most definitely, but not within the Premiership at the moment.
There are some players that are normally in the starting lineup. Are you surprised that they didn't have more of an effect on the game, such as Ramsey? I don't think he played very well. Maitland-Niles has been in the game in the last few games. He didn't really have much of an impact. What do you think about that?
Well, there were two things here. Maitland-Niles, I think, has to be, you know, we have to look, I have some sympathy for Maitland. And that is because of his whole kind of family situation, the dynamics with his mother and what is happening. So at the moment, he's still a very unhappy young man. And I think once that has been resolved, I think what we'd see is a whole new philosophy, a whole new mindset of Maitland-Niles. Yes, I agree with you that, you know, presently, and I do believe it has to do with, you know, family issues. Ramsey, I think Ramsey is on, you know, the swan song, the goodbye.
Yeah.
I'm about to leave. So do I put 100%? 100% possibility of getting an injury?
Yeah. I think he is giving. I think
no, he's giving.
At
don't
the
get
very
me wrong.
least, he's giving 80%.
No, he's
but
giving.
I think this is the reason why we've decided not to not to match our wage structure in a way towards Ozil's wages, because he's not very consistent, and in this sort of game you would expect someone of Ramsey's experience to shine.
Well, I am not with any disagreement with the club that, you know, Ozil's wage, I think, is unreal. It is something that does not fit within the whole structure of Arsenal. It does not match his work rate. It does not match what he produces and gives to the club in return for 350k a week. So definitely, Ramsey I can understand. 5 million purchase, okay, fine. Being at the club 11 years, what he has benefited from it, his resale value, what he's like, but he's not. There's no way he's a 350k a week player. He may produce in 1 in every 3 games, but certainly his consistency does not in any way warrant that kind of, you know, demand of the wages that he's, you know, asking at the moment. But as I say, I would, if you would ask me, and if I were to go back and be sentimental, I would have kept Giroud and gotten rid of Ramsey at the point that Wenger decided to let Chelsea have Giroud.
Okay.
Because Giroud for me is a great impact player when he comes under the substitute, and definitely I believe that is what I would have done. But Ramsey, don't get me wrong.
Him and Ramsey had a good partnership.
Yes, it was a good partnership.
Yeah.
There's a good partnership.
Okay, well, you've spoken about players that we did let go. Who would you bring in? It's January now. Who would you want Arsenal to bring in during this transfer window?
Well, realistically, and I think if you do follow football, you will know January is not a good time to bring in players.
Yeah.
You're not going to get the quality of players, because the players that you would want are either going to be tied up in a championship, they're either pushing for titles. So you're not good, you know, you just aren't going to get them. I think you have to wait until, you know, the summer window.
But can we afford to wait? Do you think we'll get top 4
I think we can
without buying anyone?
We can.
With the amount of injuries we have.
Well, I think once we have, if Monreal is back, what we are looking at again is the defensive frailties.
Yeah.
That is where we're suffering. Okay. Yes, what we can do. At the moment, I would say Liechtenstein to me is still a problem.
Yeah.
Socrates, yes, is playing better. I think Koscielny will have his moments. Because of past injuries, he's never going to give you 100% for the rest of the season. Yeah. And the nature of his injury is such that it will take him time to get back. Now, it's a question of, I am saying, our midfield. Churara in the midfield, getting Xhaka to be a bit more, you know, to use a bit more intelligence around the midfield. I think we can hold it.
Yeah.
I believe we can create around that midfield. El Neni, I mean, for me, the jury's always out on El Neni. He has his moments, but again, I'm never impressed by the nature of his play. But I think what we have, we can survive. And I think, in all reality, I am looking at 4th place. And I think we can hold 4th place. Tottenham, I believe, are going to drop points. We have seen what has happened with Liverpool and Man City. And we know that, if I may use the word, football is such a febrile sport that in no way one can say, well, hey, there's a guarantee that this is going to happen or that is going to happen.
Yeah, exactly. There's no guarantee.
There's no guarantees.
Shouldn't we help our cause by making sure we have enough players as backup, or even better players? I mean, the Man United, they look like they're serious now. You still got Chelsea there. They've bought a new player who can make a good impact.
Well,
you know, it's a hard one. The players that we have, they are good, but we've only got a starting lineup. I would say
Chelsea's paid 57 million per player and left him with the club and loaned him back. So what does that tell you? What does that tell you? Yes, they're thinking about next season. They're not thinking about the rest of this season. So for Arsenal, I think we're in the same position, and we should not be, we shouldn't be fearful of what we're facing. And I think if we say to ourselves, realistically, 4th place, where at this time last season, we were seeing our people would be telling you, well, are we able to survive in the Premiership this season? So I would say, don't be frightful of that. I think we have the kind of players to maintain that. Tottenham, again, I go back, will not maintain that position. For the simple reason, once Son leaves and Son goes to the Asian Games, Eriksen on the way out, we would see a real kind of deficit taking place within the Tottenham team, which is going to serve us well. I mean, I know I shouldn't be talking about Tottenham, but I have to, given where we are.
The last question, there are whispers of a possible, I don't think it's true, but a possible swap of us getting Sanchez for Ozil. Would you take that?
No. Sanchez is good, but I don't think he's an Arsenal player. I don't think he's an Arsenal player. He does not fit, the psyche of Arsenal. And with Ozil, I would just let Ozil go. I would sell Ozil. If I were the manager, I would sell Ozil. Yes, we may take a hit on the price, but I think for what Ozil will get, we could still reinvest that money and bring in other players.
I don't think he wants to go because
he doesn't
he's
want to
earning
go.
a lot of money.
Because no other club at the moment is going to pitch in 350k a week for Ozil. Unless, of course, he goes to somewhere like the Far East. He maybe go to Japan, China, Malaysia, one of those places who are the kind of upcoming nations in football and world, so to speak. Otherwise, he's not going to get that money. So for Ozil, I think Ozil is a distraction at the moment. For me personally, he's a distraction in the dressing room. And the last thing Arsenal needs is a distraction. So I would let him go.